1993 Infiniti G20. This car is an introduction to the phenomenal subculture of a gearhead's foot into the door of an associate's diploma of automotive technology repair college experiment, resulting in the free will choices to put some anti-government bumper stickers on the quarter panel of this Japanese Eurotrash chimera, proudly sponsored by a company whose name is that of an immeasurable number whose sole responsibility in the universe is to give humans the chance to believe anything is arguably possible to have success in the future. Yeah, all you V35, V37 owners out there, you owe your entire existence to this RC imitation of a European entry-level sports sedan with a motor so legendary that future EDM earheads will find the savior gone too soon, but will carry on as some clusterfuck of a rebellion to all things considered worthy of even existing. This little P10 chassis is enough get up and growl to make it drive the way a 240SX sedan would have been carnated as if Datsun Motor Company had even considered the possibility to produce such a machine. But hold up, wait a minute, put a pot pie up in it. So yeah, there's this thing called badge engineering, sponsored by Japanese domestic marketplace, and the low sum of 2 Gs to acquire a fantasy JDM fun factory on wheels, sponsored by Infowars.com and Ron Paul 2012, because here in America every so often we get a golden gem of an automobile, and all that sensational memories of being inside the wombs of an unknown being germinates into this sick and twisted idea to know that something like that even exists in this media-driven deuce flock of the next 2 decades of automotive history that will soon be available to all of the Homo sapiens on this planet. So, 1993 Infiniti G20. Born at the ass end of an era where fun and happiness was just lurching behind the corner of a wet dream by Mamoru Aoki, the global executive design director for Nissan Motor Corporation. This car is a loose interpretation of the original Datsun 510, serving its drift missile status as a lightweight, moderate-powered 4-piston death punch to the Malaise era. Malaise era, a decade of the 70s and 80s when it almost seems as if American manufacturers just up and gave up. When America builds a small car, a symbol of some sort of unpatrioticness, is usually what results in some unlimited imaginativeness of the words cheap and reliable, which the first confab is true and the latter is absolutely false. You see, when those Japanese engineers come together for another boardroom meeting to discuss another number-crunching opportunity to take the motherland by storm, they know what the fuck they are talking about. Small cars are the Japanese bread and butter of a business model to steal the hearts of young JDM fanboy fantasies for many future generations to come. The Infiniti G20, or the Nissan Primera, or the Nissan Pulsar, because you can always seem to have many iterations of what a 4-door sedan should look like and sound like. The first generation, or P10 chassis code, was introduced in the summer of 1990 and was produced until July 19th, 1996. It was made alongside the Infiniti Q45 as the entry-level luxury of the newly created Infiniti line from Datsun Motor affiliates. The G20 is called as such because G is for the G-spot, and 20 is the average age of a future entrepreneur's realization to want to be a part of some automotive fanfiction.net backstory in the making. Actually, 20 is the number of engine displacements divided by 1000, and you wind up with 2.0 liters of the most popular 4-cylinder internal combustion hysteria, wrapped up in a 6-letter configuration referred to as SR20DE. The SR20DE is an engine family of 2 milk jugs worth of dual overhead cam, naturally aspirated reciprocating mass transducers with electronic fuel injection, stroking and boring at 86.2 millimeters of aluminum block-headed, chain-driven, rockin' and rollin' crossflow and high-port lower rev-happy yup-yups, making 140 horsepower and 136 foot-pounds of feet from 7,500 rotations per minute of flexibility, reliability, fuel economy, and high-power handling capabilities. The SR20DE, a subreddit so large that Anonymous wouldn't even bother to DDoS attack it. The G20 was available with a 5-speed manual gearbox or an optional 4-speed automatic. This car has the 4-speed automatic and is the luxury trim package. The only other package was the G20T, T for touring, the outer atmospheres of a THC ritual with a side of awkwardness of realizing you were stoned for the very first time and you begin to realize that music is a medicine so powerful that it can calm down all your fears of finding your soulmate on a realm of existence, brought to you by a little blue bird who told me about you, and if I pulled a you on you, you wouldn't like that shit, would you, Jay? Power windows, power locks, power mirrors, air conditioning, 4-wheel disc brake, ABS, alloy wheels, Bose stereo, theft deterrent system, cruise control, floor mats, and a leather-wrapped steering wheel and gear shift knob were all standard. Heated mirrors, leather seats, and a power moonroof were common options, and whoever bought this car in the northern wilderness of the state for lovers ticked all of those checkboxes on this forest-green bastard firstborn to a Scottish-American backstory some 24 años in the making. For the 1993 and a half model year, dual airbags replaced motorized seatbelts, leather interiors standard, and flat black side moldings were replaced by body-colored ones. CD players and RKE was also added. RKE is remote keyless entry for those that don't know their acronyms. Anything made after this had LSD for days, and chrome-plated grills and door handles because it's the 90s and nothing seems luxury faster than some retina-frying chromium compound that attracts your galaxy psychosis objects of circular dimensions into an image of delirium designs. If there is one majorly disappointing thing about this car above anything else in this annoying interpretation of a car review gone amok, it's the lack of aftermarket support that aids the survival of this Eurotrash-inspired compact luxury transversely mounted slush box in the future of a world sponsored by Munchies and the casual subtweeting of some red-headed freckle-faced reality-tripping millennial. 1993 Infiniti G20. Sponsored by Multilink McPherson strutting independent suspension ass and mouthing off to a local Bosnian about why Japanese cars just build it better. Yeah, you BMW E30 loving cocksucking Deutsch guzzling frat bros, why not try wearing a different size condom every once in a while, you beanie wearing meat fucks. 1993 Infiniti G20. A car for scoring home run the first night with an affiliated internet blind date got fanatically prodigious, resulting in taking 3 years to find your true self once again. 1993 Infiniti G20, brought to you by the wonderful evaluation, breaking it off with your wanting to be fiancé, resulting in the tectonic shifting of plates so rare that no other type of human dinosaur has ever discovered it, and realizing that depression is a very self-destructing mental disorder wrapped up in the worlds of postmodernistic romanticism. 1993 Infiniti G20, a car for the first time trying dabs and being the ringleader of Yakime prestigeness and not making the decision to run the yellow light on Highway 316, resulted in the death of a USDM tractor-flapping Bozazoku-inspired exhaust pipe bomb trumpeting the sounds of many Dorifto missiles and the sounds of my people. 1993 Infiniti G20, a visual volition of libertarianism and anarcho-capitalistic on four wheels. G20, a three-letter collection of thoughts brought to you by the Sanctuary of J and an introverted idea to cuddle with the likes of a Sagittarius. The fate of this car was ultimately set in stone after years of snow salt annihilations in Virginia, 40,000 miles of rough owner abuse from a novice gearhead, and a decision to kiss my lemons goodbye. So long, you middle finger waving salute to all things right and justice in the world. The end.